everybody, how's it going? Pancheezey here coming at you with the Dragon Ball inspired 1/12 scale space pod by Dragon Summon. So what we have here is something incredibly special today, something that's very sought after by Dragon Ball SH Figure Arts collectors, much like myself, and that is an in-scale space pod from Dragon Ball Z. Now let's just go ahead and take a quick look around the box. So here we have the front of the box. It's letting you know that this is the space pod. It's a 1/12 scale, and also that it's the first project from Dragon Summon. Over here on the side, we got some pretty dope artwork. Over here on the back, they're letting you know about the LEDs, the included stand, the scale, and how they absolutely keep it real. Some more artwork on the other side. The bottom right here with a bunch of warning information. And rounding it up at the top right here, we got a really nice shot with the logo and everything. It just looks really good. So let's just go ahead and cut the fat and get down to brass tacks. Let's open this bad boy up. Alright, so just go ahead and put it on its side, open up this little flap. And one of the coolest things I want to go ahead and point out is instead of just going ahead and throwing in a little bit of loose leaf paper, they go ahead and they print the instructions right on here, right smack dab. Really nice full color instructions, none of that black and white garbage. It's letting you know how to go ahead and take the battery out, the battery compartment. I'll go ahead and over that in a little bit. Shows you where to put all the batteries for the LEDs, how to put them in, how to get everything set up. Just beautiful, perfect, simple, clean. Everything just works out. Just go and open that bad boy up, and then just take this guy out. Oh man, really not a lot standing in between you and this beautiful space pod. Just go ahead, crack this open, get rid of the clamshell, and yo, oh my god, let me go ahead and say this without a doubt. This is such a beautiful piece of plastic I'm holding right here. I'm not actually holding it. Now I'm holding it. This is such a great little piece. Oh my god, I'm so stoked to have this right now. Yo! So let me go ahead and be the first to say that this thing looks phenomenal. Now I know what a lot of non-Dragon Ball fans are thinking right now. It's just a circle, it's just a sphere, you know? What can you really be blown away by? But let me go ahead and tell you the design, the very clean lines right here, and like the very nice circular shape right here, and the sheen on this thing is blowing me away right now. All the classic Saiyan architecture is right here, beautifully sculpted, very nice. And if you think that the outside of this thing is looking good, let's go ahead and boom, let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. Oh my god, oh my goodness. All right, so yo, let me go ahead and tell you, this thing, not only does it look great, it functions great too. You notice that when I opened it, you heard those two little clicks. It's these two little mechanisms right here, and they go ahead and they lock in place to go ahead and give you that really nice Dragon Ball vibe. Now, not only does it give you a good Dragon Ball vibe with the way it opens, but just look at the inside of this thing. The detail is phenomenal. Not only is the detail great, but most importantly, it's to scale. And that's, like I said, the most important part of this entire thing. There have always been space pods in the past, but they haven't gotten the interior scale right, and this certainly does. You can go and you can put your SH Figure Arts in here and they'll look right. So taking a look inside, you'll notice some really clean lines just like on the outside. Very nice sculpting going on right here. And if you notice at the bottom of the chair, there's a little seam, and this actually reveals the battery compartment. And let me tell you, it's really smart to go ahead and put the battery compartment inside the space pod so it doesn't add any additional lines on the outside of it. Trying to keep it one shape, very uniform and very clean. So, speaking of that battery compartment, you'll notice there's a button on the right armrest of this chair. And let me go ahead and tell you, it's not just there for show. You go ahead and you press that button, and let me tell you, all your dreams are about to come true, because through the magic of LED technology, the whole thing lights up just like this, baby. Woo! That's right, my friends. Seeing is believing in this case. This isn't some boring, run-of-the-mill, ho-hum space pod. Dragon Summons went ahead and pulled out all the stops for us. That's right, 3 to be exact, 3 stops, 3 LEDs in the space pod. And you know, that's more than enough. It goes ahead and lights up really good, and you can cycle through 7 different colors. If you want to go the more canonical route, you can go and do that. But if you want to go and spice it up with some, you know, fan fiction type of stuff, you got 6 more colors to choose from. The sky is the limit. If the sky is 7 different colors, I don't know. Anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to drive home is that it's just a really cool feature. So, I went ahead and got out my other 2 space pods to talk about something super important, and that's scale. Going from right to left, we have the Ichiban Kuji space pod, the Dragon Summon space pod, and the Irwin space pod. Now, the Dragon Summon space pod prides itself on being a true 1/12 scale Saiyan space pod, and that is kind of true. While as a whole, in terms of exterior scale, it doesn't quite match up, it really shines on the interior scale. You see, externally speaking, it's not exactly quite to scale. It's a little bit bigger than how it's depicted in the manga and anime, but to be fair, you're always seeing these space pods drawn in different ways. Comparing scene by scene or page by page in the manga, they're not always going to be the exact same size, so it's only fair that this exteriorly isn't perfectly 1/12 scale. But that's not all bad news, because it almost had to be out of scale exteriorly to go ahead and make it perfectly in scale interiorly. As you can see, Scouter Vegeta fits in there like a dream. It's unbelievable. You don't have to bend his legs, you don't have to get him in a weird kind of pose. He is sitting in there very flush, very comfortably. He's got plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. He's not stressing anything. He's not sweating anything. He's just in it for the long haul. Sit back, relax, just cruise through space, and he's golden. Now, to be fair, you'll get the same experience with the Ichiban Kuji pod, but it looks comically huge. And with the Irwin pod, he kind of looks like he's fitting into a juniors only kind of thing, making the Dragon Summon space pod the best of both worlds. So, heading inside to take a look at some of these smaller details, you'll notice they really went above and beyond. Like we were talking about earlier with the LEDs, they just add a certain ambience that just looks great, especially when you have a figure in there. Plus, with their smart positioning, the LEDs aren't too harsh on the eyes and they kind of glow through this thin plastic. You'll notice that all the lines and the cushioning around the pod are just sculpted really great. The door hinges not only look great, but they function great too. Now, I will admit you'll have to go ahead and go a little easy on opening and closing the pod, but you'll kind of get the feel for it in no time. The control deck also looks really great with two main interface buttons as well as a screen right here. And finally, it's finished off with this opaque fuchsia window so you can see all the cool stuff happening on the inside. You put your Scouter Vegeta in there, you got the LEDs going, you see all the details going on in there with that classic fuchsia tint. Man, it's music. So, when it comes to the 1/12 scale space pod by Dragon Summons, it's definitely a must buy, especially if you're an avid Dragon Ball collector that just needs a space pod in your collection. And let me tell you, if you're a Dragon Ball collector, you need a space pod in your collection. Now, like I said earlier, it's not perfect when it comes to overall scale, but when it comes to internal scale in terms of putting your 1/12 scale Dragon Ball SH Figure Arts figures inside the pod, like Scouter Vegeta right here, it is unmatched, completely unmatched. That, coupled with the fact that it's the most affordable entry among all the space pods at $59.99, it's practically a no-brainer. So, once you're done watching this video, go ahead and pick up a space pod, slap your Scouter Vegeta in there, heck, slap any one of your 1/12 scale Dragon Ball figures in there. For the most part, they'll all fit, and just get to work. Go ahead and make a really rad display, go ahead and take some really cool pictures, do a video, whatever you want to do. The important thing is now Dragon Summon has finally provided us with the perfect scale tool for our Dragon Ball SH Figure Arts. As always, everybody, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you guys dug this review, I got a whole bunch of other reviews right here. And if you guys like the little displays you saw in this review, go ahead and check out my other show called Posing Ain't Easy. It's all about super rad figures, posing them and stuff like that. And as always, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!